This is the channel dedicated for end time events, Messiah Revelation Ministry. We are looking at one of the key characters um, in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and that is the beast described by Apostle John, the same man described as the king of the north, the same man described as the son of perdition, the man of lawlessness by Apostle Paul. And we are discussing step by step the reason why this man is very dangerous and how is he described and what is he going to do when he finally comes onto the scene. And we are looking at it. We are looking at it one by one. We are looking at what he's going to do and why he's very dangerous and why we should pay attention to the man, the Antichrist, the beast, the king of the north, and the son of perdition, the man of lawlessness. The first reason why we should be concerned about the Antichrist is that he will cause martyrdom of the saints. In other words, many saints, those who believe in the Messiah, they will be killed and they will go through persecution, and many will lose their life. And we call it the suffering for the Messiah, the suffering for the Messiah. Um, we will reign of the Messiah. A time will come, the saints will reign of the Messiah. A time will also come when the saints will also suffer for the Messiah, and that will be at the hands of the Antichrist, and we call it the martyrdom of the saints. And the book of Revelation, chapter 13, reading from verse 11 to 18, talks about the martyrdom of the saints. You are aware that the Antichrist will be given power to wage war with the saints and overcome them. And overcoming them will include those who will die by the sword and those who will be psychologically humiliated, and they will go through all kinds of wars, including physical war, and as a result, many will die. And so we should be ready for the martyrdom of the saints. And the second reason why we should watch for the Antichrist is the Antichrist is going to instigate so many wars. The Antichrist will be a leader who will wage wars and conquer, and he will be conquering. And it implies that he will have access to a military power, a military system. And when you also look at the fact that he will be the king of the north, it means he will have the instruments of war and he will lead war. And those wars are wars against the Messiah, Yeshua Jesus Christ. So we call it the Antichrist wars. And if you want to read more about it, we go to Revelation chapter 19. And the third reason why we should also worry about Antichrist is that he will cause so many people to rebel against God, rebelling against the Most High. Rebellion is a sin, and if you do not repent from that sin, you will go to hell. And for those who call themselves Hebrew Israelites, those who are Hebrew Israelites and they are aware they are Hebrew Israelites, we need to be concerned about the Antichrist who will cause many people to rebel against the Most High, because rebellion will keep someone from entering into the promised land. If you read the book of Ezekiel, there will be a time when there will be the Ezekiel purge. Rebels will be purged from among the children of the Most High, and they will not see the presence of the Most High. So Ezekiel purge is coming, and people who are going to rebel against the Most High will not enter the promised land. The Antichrist will have it as one of the purposes to lead the rebellion against God. You remember that the dragon who will give power to the Antichrist, Lucifer himself rebelled against the Most High, and he was able to entice 1/3 of the angels of heaven to rebel against the Most High. So rebellion is going to be high during the time of the Antichrist, who will be Satan's incarnate, enthroned and enrobed as the beast that is coming in the world. So rebellion will be caused by the Antichrist, and we need to be aware of that. If you can look at Revelation chapter 13, verses 11 to 18, you will see the wars, and you see the rebellion when you read the book of Daniel, particularly chapter 8. The fourth reason why we should be worried about the Antichrist is that he will cause sin to increase among men. He will cause many people to sin. Sinning is his mandate, because the Bible is very clear, very conclusive. The wages of sin is death. It is not the physical death that we are talking about, it's eternal death, where at the time of judgment, people will go into eternal condemnation. It is the mandate of the Antichrist to cause sin to increase among men, and the Bible is clear. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, reading from verse 8 to 12. And for that reason, Apostle Paul calls the Antichrist the man of sin. Is because he's a sinner and is going to lead many people to sin. And so sinning is his business. And for this reason, we should be very aware, and we need to be awakened about the Antichrist, as he will cause many people to sin so that they will lose their salvation. Number 5, the Antichrist is described as the one who will trample under the hosts of heaven. He will trample over them. He will tread over them, and he is going to be the workman for Lucifer himself, Satan, the dragon, and he will trample under his feet the saints of the Most High. And the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel talks about it. And so, for that reason, the Antichrist is probably the most dangerous character spoken of in the book of Revelation. Number 6, why should we worry about the Antichrist? We should worry about the Antichrist because he will deceive so many people. And the Lord warned the saints, the disciples, the apostles in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. Don't let any man deceive you. And he's talking about deception that will increase in the end of this, and it will increase more during the time of the Antichrist. When the Antichrist is revealed, it will mean that deception um, will proliferate in the global system. Deception will be used to send so many people to hell. And if you read the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and one of the reasons why so many people will go to hell is that they will follow the Antichrist. They will follow the Antichrist because they will believe in miracles that will be performed by the Antichrist. And through the miracles, he will deceive so many people. And the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 4, talks about the modus operandi of the Antichrist, causing miracles to come, even to the point of causing fire to come from heaven. And many people will be deceived, including the saints of the Most High, and those who are not watchful, who are not prayerful, who are not discerning, they will be deceived because of the miracles that will be wrought by the Antichrist in conjunction and in cooperation with the false prophet. And as a result of deception, many people will lose their salvation because they will follow the Antichrist. Even before the Antichrist is revealed, you see a lot of false prophets over the world, and they are using miracles to deceive the saints of the Most High, and that practice will increase. The Antichrist will cause craftiness to come, uh, will cause craftiness, deception to increase. And you can read it in Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 8 to 12. Number 7, why should we be concerned about the Antichrist? Um, Ruthless destruction. He will engage in destruction of life and property, because he is a man of wickedness. He's very wicked. That's why he's also described as the wicked one. The prophet Daniel described the Antichrist as the wicked one because he will destroy life and property. And the prophet Daniel talks about that in Daniel chapter 11, verses 36 to 46, Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. The Antichrist is someone who will exalt himself. And so we are going to the 8th reason why we should be concerned about the Antichrist. He will exalt himself. And the Bible is clear. He who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. The Antichrist will exalt himself and he will magnify himself, and we are forewarned about it. And for that very reason, we should read Daniel chapter 4, verse 25, where the prophet Daniel describes the Antichrist. Daniel chapter Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, and also he shall cause, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his mind, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So the prophet Daniel is saying that through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. So the Antichrist is someone who will come first as a man of peace. He will preach peace, but he will turn around and he will destroy many. He's also going to magnify himself against the prince of princes. The prince of princes is the Messiah. The Messiah is the prince that is coming. The prince of this world. John chapter 14, verse 30 talks about Lucifer being the prince of this world. But the real prince of this world, the Messiah, is coming. He's the prince of princes. And the Antichrist, being the incarnate of Lucifer, will magnify himself, even exalting himself beyond the God who created the universe, and self-exalting himself, magnifying himself against the prince of this world, Yeshua, and the Messiah. The 9th reason that we should worry about Antichrist is his stubborn position, resistance against the Messiah, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He will resist the Messiah, and that resistance will be in the form of a war. And in that war, you know the results. The Messiah will defeat the Antichrist, and the Antichrist, he will go into perdition. And for that reason, the Antichrist is called the son of perdition. He will go into perdition, and it's very, very important we remember how the Antichrist will go into perdition. He will go into perdition because he will be defeated by the Messiah. So, as a warning, when you see the Antichrist, when you hear the Antichrist, when the Antichrist is revealed, then it's a signal that we have very few years for the Messiah to come to fulfill our prophecy by defeating the Antichrist with a breath coming from his mouth, and the Antichrist will go into perdition, and he will be cast into the lake of fire. And you can read about it, Revelation chapter 19, verses 19 to 21, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8 to 12 talks about it. And finally, one major reason why you should worry about the Antichrist is that he will cause many people to accept his mark, to accept his name, and to worship him. And for doing any of those, anybody who does that will go into eternal perdition, because that person who follows the Antichrist, accept his mark, worship his image and his name, will go into perdition, and the Lord will cause plagues to torment that person, and ultimately that person's name will be blotted from the book of life, and the person will lose salvation eternally. And so the Antichrist is very dangerous. The final trumpet of heaven has sounded, and I believe that the Antichrist is already in the system. And so for these 10 reasons that we have enumerated, we need to be concerned about the Antichrist, the broad powers that will be given to the Antichrist. We need to be concerned about it, because Revelation chapter 13 verse 7 says he is given power to wage war with the saints and overcome them, and he will cause many people to suffer martyrdom. He will cause many people to accept his mark, worship him, and worship his name, and for that reason they will also go into perdition, and they will lose their eternal salvation. And so this is a short commentary on the Antichrist, the scope of his operation, and the eternal consequences of the activities of the Antichrist as described in the books of the prophet, including the prophet Isaiah, the prophet Daniel, and also the book of Revelation. My email is raptureafrica@yahoo.com. I'm leaving it in the description box. Thank you for watching this video, and share the video so that we will be watchful and we will be discerning at the time when the Antichrist is about to be revealed. Thank you.